All right, guys, I'm here today to give you just a few ideas for some morning motion, morning movement type routine, ritual, or you can kind of throw this in to any part of your day where you're just looking for a little bit of regenerative, restorative type movements, and it's not too intense, kind of easier, but also can provide a lot of benefit, make you feel pretty good. So with that said, we're just going to get into this, and always, as always with this movement, you're going to focus on some breathing while we do it. But nothing breathing oriented for the moment. So we're going to start with some cat-cows. So you guys might have done this in yoga or PT or just other training in general. But cat-cow is very simple. You're going to put your hands underneath your shoulders, right? So directly down underneath your knees, directly underneath of your hips. And in this tabletop position, your feet are going to be pointed down, so the tops of your feet are on the floor. What we're going to do here is we're going to open the chest and kind of arch the back. And when you do that, I want you to breathe all the way in deeply. And then once you have a full breath, you're going to breathe it out as you crunch or round the back. Okay? And we're going to repeat. In, all the way, and then out. In, out. Okay, now just kind of follow that pattern on your own for a few more repetitions. You can play around with the position, kind of go side to side. If you find something that feels kind of good, your body might want to do it. Okay, from there, I'm going to walk my hands forward just a tiny bit. I'm going to curl my toes underneath, just like this. And then I'm going to raise the knees off the floor and send the hips up to the sky. And then back into down dog as I kind of sit into my heels a little bit and get comfortable. And here all I'm doing is just pedaling my feet out, kind of stretching the hamstring, the calves, low back if it's really tight. Just looking for this comfortable feeling. It might take some time to get there. It might not even be in this session. But just a general feeling of feeling pretty at ease and normal in this position. Okay. Again, just kind of feel it around, move through it, find what feels good here. Okay? Always we're going to return to this, just to kind of reset. And then a great thing to do while you do down dog is to come into it with a full breath and then exhale all of your air in the down dog. So if you're coming from the cat-cow position or a plank position, the great thing to do is to take a deep breath in and exhale, and just feels so good. Another breath in and exhale. Good. Okay, now we're going to do some cool little transitions here, and so you can start to pick these up and start to move through these in your own way and kind of in a flowy way. But the foundation I want to lay for this next one is going to be here on your reclined on your butt, and what we're going to do is feet flat on the floor, going to raise your butt off the floor, and you're going to rock side to side and get your balance on one hand. Okay? I want you to think strong shoulders, strong chest here. So your chest should be up towards the sky. Okay? And then what we're going to do is combo that one hand to one foot. Okay? Back down, shift it, one hand to one foot. Again, nice and controlled, nice and comfortable. Okay? Nothing too strenuous here. And if you're falling all over the place, just stick with the arms. Okay? Until you feel confident and strong in that base, those two, that foot and that arm, to raise the opposites to each other. Okay? Just like that. Okay, we'll come back to this move in a fun way in just a few minutes here. But for now, just kind of keep moving through this one. Another one, if this is really tough on your shoulders, Another way you can kind of get ready for that move or prep for it in a way is to do what's called a chest opener. So here you can start with your hands pointing behind you, okay? And the thing that you want to do is really draw the shoulders back, okay? Think of that as a chest opening to the ceiling, okay? And here all you're looking for is a nice wide open chest and being able to move the shoulders back, okay? And try not to, try to relax your head here. Don't hold any tension through it. So I'll often just kind of move my head through a very gentle range of motion to remind myself not to hold my head forward or drop it back or anything, just to be aware that it's in alignment with my spine. And just find that position and kind of hold. You can play with this position. You can get a little further away and get a little bit more stretch. You can switch the hand position here and feel the difference. Some of the muscles that it's hitting this way, a little bit different, just like that. If you feel like you're forcing, if you feel like it's just not available to you, just start with the gentle, easy ones, okay? It will build in time. Again, breathing in deeply and letting it go. And your position should change as you breathe. You should be moving kind of like a wave. Okay, excellent. So now we're going to try a bit of an advanced move. So this one is going to go from push-up position into kind of what we did with that cross tap with the shoulder position, this one, okay? So what it is, and you can feel free to play with this one. You can throw push-ups in here. You can throw any sort of yoga variation of like a chaturanga or a Hindu type push-up. But what we're going to do today is just simply going to start from the plank or the push-up position, okay? And then what we're going to do is bend this leg, bring it a little closer to you here, and you're going to rotate on it, and you're going to kick your opposite leg out, okay? And now, I know I said that you want to start in push-up position, but really what you're going to end up in is this kind of like quadruped position with your feet or your knees off of the floor. And so you rotate and you kick, you come back in. You rotate and you kick and you come back in, okay? And just keep playing with that position, right? You might find something that's a little bit more comfortable for you, a little bit more fun, right? Here, again, tall chest, strong shoulder. I'm not sinking into it. Got a strong shoulder, so I'm pushing off the ground. Stable through here, and my foot is just active. Come back in, rotate. It's all one movement like this, okay? So, again, that's a little bit more advanced, and feel free to play with it. Feel free to try it. If it's just not there yet, just work on those other moves. It'll build it to it, okay? Let's see. So from there, let's go into a forearm to instep variation here. So the forearm to instep, you start with your, we start in push-up position. And what we're going to do is bring the foot to the side of the same side hand, okay? And the way you might do that might have to require some hips to move up to create some space, or a little shift from side to side. But here's where we're getting to, okay? This is where we want to get to. If you can't get there, I would suggest putting a yoga block here and just raising up a little bit. Or you could even do it with like a bench or a box or something. And just get yourself off the floor a little bit so that your foot can come to the side of your hand. And if that's where you are, perfect. All we're going to do is just try to get a little bit of a better posture, chest up a little bit here. And you can always drop that back knee for a little bit more comfortable position, okay? So from here, what we want to do, no matter where you are, if you're knee down or if your hands are on blocks or whatever, we're going to rotate like this, okay? And again, you can do that with the knee down, foot on the floor, or you can do it with the knee up like this, okay? And you're going to come back down. Then we're going to do one more. Up, Deep breath in, out as we come down. Okay, from there, I'm gonna switch directions here, but it's the same position, okay? And what we're gonna do is bring, so come up into a tall kneeling position, just like this. And we're going to, you can have a support here if you need to, going to grab our back foot here and come into a quad stretch. Okay, so I'm not cranking on this foot. I'm not really trying to do too much with this quad just yet. All I'm looking for is good posture, stability, and a little bit of a stretch, okay? And notice I'm not crashing into my right leg here. I've got a little active through this quad. I'm also a little active through this quad in that I'm pushing into my foot just a tiny bit, or into my hand, pushing my foot into my hand just a tiny bit to create a little bit of stability. Chest up, breathe. Okay, release it carefully. All right, and then what we'll do next is switch sides. So here we go, back into push-up position. Gonna switch it to the left foot this time. All right, again, find your variation. Just hold this position. You can play around with it, moving the hip in and out, just like that. Once you find your position, we're gonna go open like this. Breath in, breath out. Again. Good. From there, we're going to lower the knee. I walk my foot onto the mat. Find that stability, find that tall position, and then back foot up here and breathe. Okay. I also want to make it known that you can do that stretch with an assist. So instead of being able to hold, if you're not able to hold your foot, or that's a fairly intricate position to get into, you can use a wall or a couch or something like that. So I'll try to show you with a wall, but it really works better with a couch if you have something to put your foot on top of and not straight up against the wall. So basically what you would do is you would back up to the seat cushion if it's right here, and you would put your foot onto it like this, okay? And just imagine my ankle is meeting the seat cushion and my foot is resting on the top where I would sit. So you'd put your knee down on the floor and your foot on the seat cushion, and then you would get into that same lunge position here, all right? And using your help, you'd come up into that same idea, and right? So you can scoot this forward if it's too much of a stretch, and find that position where you feel you're in control. You're getting a stretch, but it's not too much, it's not uncomfortable. And you can hang out there and breathe for a few minutes. So breathing is the key. Breathing is the key with all the stretching and the mobility stuff. Okay, so I've got two more to show you guys. So the first one is gonna be a get up, okay? And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna come to this position. We've been here kind of before, from here, okay? So from here, what you're gonna do, so you're basically resting on one cheek, one side, and your right leg is gonna be the support, your left arm is gonna be the support, okay? And so from here, what you're gonna do is raise up, hip off the ground. We're gonna sweep the leg underneath into like a low squat position. Here, both hands on the floor and up, okay? Very simple. Here, back down, okay? Here, hands on the floor, up, down, okay? And back up. What we'll do now is we'll switch sides. So come down. Now it's my right hand and my left foot doing the support. So as I come down, here I am on the floor, Back up, hands, stand up. Hands to the floor, right hand to the floor, supporting, left hand to the other foot. Up. Here we go. Okay. And just because that one's kind of fun, so we're gonna go learn the scooch. All right. So the same setup, opposite hand to opposite foot, hand to foot. And what you can do here is grab this foot. What we're gonna do is we're gonna scooch down to the opposite end of the mat. Okay. Very easy. Very nice. Okay. Scooch it back. All right. We're moving the hand and the foot at the same time as we scooch. Good. Okay, then you would switch sides, do the same on the other. So switch to the left hip, right hand to left foot, and we're scooching backwards. Length of the mat, or whatever you're working on, and we go back forward. Okay, so last one I want to go over, this one's called the bear crawl, which to everyone sounds like a horrible conditioning and fitness exercise, but really it's a core exercise, and it's a very good core exercise. So what I'll start with to lay the foundation is the bird dog. So the bird dog here, if you're on hands and knees, is just like our starting position from the cat-cow. You're in tabletop, so you're not arched and you're not rounded, you're just flat, okay? And from here, you're gonna take the right arm and the left leg, so opposites, and we're going to extend. So our base becomes our left arm and our right leg. And notice I'm right underneath of my shoulder here. My hand is right underneath my shoulder and my knee is right underneath my hip. So it's creating nice stability and I don't feel like I'm working too hard in this position, okay? We'll come back in and we'll switch. And the thing that you want to keep mindful of here is not letting one hip drop and not rotating too much to counterbalance. You want to stay nice and level, okay? Kind of a good way to check that is when you come back in, does your knee kind of scrape the floor as it's coming in? Or does it come in really high and you set it down, okay? It should come in low, it should come in and scrape, just like this. So I'm nice and flat. As I bring it in, it's basically touching the floor as it comes in. Good. Okay. Now the second progression here is to, same position, tuck the toes. Okay. Your knees are right underneath your hips. You're going to raise the knees 1 inch off the ground. Just hold right there. Okay, good. So you should feel that in the core a little bit, and it should be hard to think about how to move from there, okay, if any of you got that far ahead, because what the bear crawl is going to be is that position moving. So what we need to do is we need to practice moving without the difficulty. So from all fours, I want you to move opposites at the same time forward. Right arm, left leg. Left arm, right leg. Okay? Just like that. And feel how your body accounts for it. Across the core, okay? Maybe across the low back. Just like that. Moving those limbs simultaneously. Okay, so now to take it to the final stage, to the real bear crawl. You're going to be up off the ground, just like this. You're going to use opposites to move, okay? Same time, all right? And the same thing backwards. Notice my knees stay really low to the ground, okay? And I don't do big movements. I take small steps. Okay? So that was probably the most intense one, and that's the one we're going to finish on. So basically, you can put these all together into some sort of a flow or a ritual in the morning. Really, really easy. You knock out a few reps of each one. Suddenly you've done about 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes of movement. And if you throw that bear crawl in there, your heart rate will be up and you'll be breathing kind of hard. So good luck with that. Remember, take it easy, start slow, and build to the full positions, and enjoy your morning movement.